Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. Your host, Mike Williams here, and my co-host, Geoffrey.
Good afternoon, Bay Nation.
Today is a very special day. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Football season is here. We're back, baby. Let's go. First game of the season. We got the rematch from the divisional matchup. The Chiefs versus the Texans. Man, I am so excited for this game. We could not start off with a better game. Other than the fact that Brandon Cooks is dinged up. But we'll get into that later. As you can see, I am dressed for the occasion. First game of the season. Wearing my Looney Tunes tie. Got to dress in style. I don't know if you can see this. We got Bugs Bunny, Tasmanian Devil, and a little Daffy Duck action in the top. They're loony and so am I. I'm so ready to get this season started. I can't believe we have finally made it. It has been a long off season, but we are here now. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is where to put your players. Now, I know that sounds silly. Mike, I have them rostered. It doesn't matter where I put them. No, it actually does matter. Let's take my team, for example. I have 3 running backs. Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, and David Johnson. David Johnson plays tonight. Of course, he's not one of the top 2 running backs out of there, so he shouldn't go in the running back position, right? No, wrong. Do not play anybody on Thursday in your flex. Don't do it. It's like playing with your hand tied behind your back. Let me explain. If on Thursday you decide you leave David Johnson in your flex position, but then Joe Mixon gets migraines again, and now you don't have him. That means one of your running back slots are now open. You can only put a running back in that running back slot. So, if you had moved David Johnson up into the running back spot and Joe Mixon down into the flex, you can replace Joe Mixon with a wide receiver or a running back or a tight end. It basically opens up your roster to allow you to make different decisions instead of forcing you to play a running back instead of a wide receiver or tight end. Most likely wide receiver. So that's why you don't play your players in the flex on Thursday. So I want to discuss not just these teams, but we're going to go over the spread. We're going to go over who I think you should start, sit. And to do that, we're going to take a little trip. Ready to go, Geoffrey?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, let's hit it.
Wow, that is a beautiful view of the Earth from outer space. All right, Geoffrey, let's begin your spin and let's go through a couple day cycles so we can see the Earth at day and night.
Yes, sir.
Look at all those lights. It's crazy. You can see that from outer space. All right, and now we are approaching the United States. Let's slow on down. Perfect. Good job, Geoffrey.
Thanks.
All right, like we were talking about earlier, we're going to start off with week 1, the Chiefs versus the Texans. All right, we're not going to linger here long. Let's head down to Kansas City, where this game's being played. Arrowhead, to be exact.
I'm on it, sir. Here we go.
All right, let's go over the starts and sits. We're going to start with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, of course, you're going to start Patrick Mahomes. You're going to start Tyreek Hill. You're starting Travis Kelce. You're obviously also starting Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You drafted him in the first round. You're going to start him. I don't think that he gets all of the work, but I do think that he has a fine game coming in. He should be top 15 running back for sure, if not fringe top 10. I don't see him coming out and getting all of the workload, which is why I don't put him in my top 10. Or heavily in my top 10. So, some of the other players that you may be thinking about looking into. Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, and Demarcus Robinson. Me personally, I don't think that you have to roll the dice this early. You just drafted. And you got Mecole Hardman and any of the other ones in like one of the last rounds. You shouldn't need to be shooting for crazy upside. Also, the Chiefs are expected to win this game heavily. I don't think that they're going to have as many opportunities to throw the ball once they're up by a lot. So, I don't believe that Mecole Hardman or Sammy Watkins or Robinson have to be played. If I had to play one of them, I'd probably pick Sammy Watkins because I think that he's going to get the most work. But Mecole Hardman could always go for 80 yards and a touchdown. That could always happen. I'm not saying it can't. I'm not saying it can't. What I'm saying is, I don't know if you need to roll the dice on something like that this early. We're just starting, and you didn't start. You didn't draft Mecole Hardman to be a starter. So I don't think you have to roll the dice this early. Okay, now let's go over to the Texans. So obviously you're starting Deshaun Watson, and in my opinion, you should definitely be starting David Johnson because they are going to be giving him the rock. He's going to be running the ball. And on top of that, they're projected to be playing from behind, which means they're going to be throwing the ball more. He is a pass-catching running back. Yes, I know Duke Johnson is there, and I think Duke Johnson will get some work. But David Johnson just got traded for DeAndre Hopkins. He is going to get work. Watch out for David Johnson being a top 12 play this week. Calling it. So, I really like David Johnson. I think that he should have a fine play, and you should definitely start him. Outside of David Johnson, Duke Johnson could get some work. I definitely think he'll be involved in the passing game because they're going to be down. Again, back to the Mecole Hardman situation. You shouldn't have to play Duke Johnson. You should have starters that you can play over him. But worst came to worst, and you had to get a running back. I think Duke Johnson is probably going to be a low end running back 3, high end running back 4, because he's going to get like 6 receptions if you're playing in a full PPR. All right, let's move over to wide receivers. So, Brandon Cooks is dealing with a quad injury at the moment, and that makes me nervous. Even if he does play, I don't think that I would be playing him. And it's really unfortunate because I was really excited for him to come into this year. I actually think that he's being very undervalued and underappreciated, and he could have a great game if he was healthy. But he's not. And I'm not rolling the dice on my first game of the season. I'm probably putting him on the bench. Even if he plays, who knows whether or not that quad injury is going to flare up. So I'm probably not playing him. But that being said, you're not playing him. Definitely playing Will Fuller. Will Fuller is about to have a fantastic week. Will Fuller, when healthy, is an amazing wide receiver. The only reason he went so late in drafts is because he's injury prone. But we're coming into the first game of the season, and he's healthy. So I think that he should have a very good game. You can definitely start Will Fuller. Now, if you're looking for a substitute for Brandon Cooks, which you shouldn't need to start one of these guys, but if you're trying to roll the dice on something or you need a DFS upside, Randall Cobb or Kenny Stills could get some work. They're going to have to throw the ball, and Will Fuller's not getting literally everything. Even if he gets 10 to 12 targets, which I think that's a little much, they still will need to throw more than 12 times. So I think that Kenny Stills or Randall Cobb could have some value. They just brought in Randall Cobb, so I think Randall Cobb should get a little bit more love just because he's the new shiny toy and they want to show that they made a good decision. That is my starts and sits for this game. I'm really excited about this game in particular because I don't know if y'all remember the last time these two teams played, but it was in the divisional matchup, and it went crazy. It escalated quickly. You know what? To tell this story, let me bring you behind the curtain. So, to tell this story, let me give you a lay of the land. We're at my cousin's house. Him and his wife, Sophia, are hosting my family and some other people, and we're watching the game. And shout out to Dee and Sophia, by the way. Thank you. We're watching the game. The Texans go up 24-0 in the beginning of the second quarter. And everybody's like, oh, this game's over. Turn it off. Why don't we watch something else? Blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I looked at him and I said, oh, this game's not over. They have too many players that can make plays, and do not count out Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs can score faster than anybody else in the league. They have so many players, they could take it to the house. You can't count them out in the second quarter. 24 points is nothing to them. Do you know what ended up happening? The Chiefs won by 20. 20. They were down 24-0. They won by 20 points. That's crazy. But that is the Chiefs. They can score in bunches. So I'll tell you this. In a crazy world where the Texans are up by 24 points in this game, I can guarantee you they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe. They thought that they were going to be going to the conference finals. But Chiefs had something to say about that, and Patrick Mahomes came in and said, nah. This is my year. So, that was my little behind the curtains. When I pick a game, I'm not just going to pick who's going to win and who's going to lose. I'm picking who is going to win against the spread. And for those of you who do not know, a spread is basically a handicap. So let's take this game as an example. The Chiefs are a 10.5 point favorite, which basically means if you bet on the Chiefs to win, the Chiefs have to win by 11 or more points. If you bet on the Texans to win, the Texans have to win or lose by less than 11 points. That's a pretty big spread. And I understand why. The Chiefs are basically returning all their players from their Super Bowl champion team. And the Texans lost one of the best wide receivers in the league. And Brandon Cooks is coming up injured. And they have a new running back in the backfield. There's a lot of turnover. And in this coronavirus time right now, it is very, very important for your team to have continuity. So that's why the spread is so large. That being said, 10.5 points is a lot of points. I don't know if I'm giving Patrick Mahomes 10.5 points. Deshaun Watson is still extremely good, and he does have wide receivers that are viable. No, they're not DeAndre Hopkins, but I actually like Kenny Stills, Randall Cobb, and Brandon Cooks, and Will Fuller. If Brandon Cooks plays, I actually think that could be a nice little tandem, at least for the game. I don't think that they're going to be blowing anybody out of the water, but I do think that it'll be more competitive than they're making it seem like it'll be. I don't think it'll be a blowout from the beginning. So I don't know if you've ever seen the college kids picking where they want to go to school, but I always thought it was really cool that they had hats in front of them and then they picked on who they thought who they were going to go to. So that's how I'm going to be picking games this year. Let me know if you think it's whack below. Okay, so tough decision. Super Bowl champions or the up-and-comers? Decisions. I'm going with the Texans because I don't think that they're going to get beat by 11 points. That's a lot of points. I think that even if there is garbage time, they're not going to lose by more than 10 points. So I'm going to take the Texans for the spread. But if we're talking about who's going to win the game, that may change my opinion a little bit. But if you're wondering about this, it's my confidence meter. My confidence meter is how confident am I that it's going to happen? I'm about in the middle, to be honest with you. I think that I'm a little bit over the middle because I think that the Texans shouldn't lose by 11 points. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they do. So, if you're asking me, with the spread, 10.5, taking the Texans. But, without the spread, and it's just a straight up game, oh, Chiefs winning this game. Chiefs winning this game. That's for sure. All right. Well, that was the first game of the season. Let me know what you thought. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, Geoffrey, do you have anything else?
Cheerio. See you soon.
All right. Good luck this week. Hope you win your first matchup. Peace.